Hi, Nicole. Hi, Chris. Now, Chris can't talk because she's got laryngitis.
I think she purposely did that, Susie, so we did all the talking.
Well, she probably wouldn't get a word in edgewise anyway, just quietly. Now, I want to tell Chris's story very quickly, first of all. Chris is our volunteer. She's actually a mum and a grandmother. She was our makeup artist for over 30 years, and she's had a quadruple bypass surgery. She's an ex-smoker. So she's, I guess, showing her life on her face, Nicole. Yeah?
So everybody feels 20 inside. Interestingly, I watched Elton John on television this morning, and he said for his whole life he's felt 20. It's just that age happens to us over time, but in our hearts and souls, actually, Chris told me she still feels like a 20-year-old inside.
Yeah, I think we're all the same. We're looking at a little bit of a journey. That was Chris's wedding photo. Now this is a very glamorous shot. Chris has always avoided the cameras, despite the fact that she's worked in media. So now we're looking, if you can look right down the barrel of the camera for us, Chris. You've had a long consultation with her.
Yes.
What work are you going to do on her?
Okay, well, Dr. John Marnie and myself had a consult at Face today, and we asked Chris, what bothers you most about your face? And basically what you need to do is look at, Chris said, look, I feel tired. She said, what it is that when people feel tired, it's generally because you've got 3 lines heading south. You can see she's got a bit of a dip through here, a dip through here, and a dip through here. And when you've got 3 lines heading south, people think that you're tired when you're not. So that was one of the greatest things that she wanted corrected. And of course, when you see her before photos, she had beautiful full lips in the past. So what we want to do is not create ridiculous lips like we've seen on some people on television and in the...
yeah, sort of walking around like First Wives Club, Goldie Hawn and First Wives Club.
Absolutely. The whole thing is that we want to take a very subtle, slow journey, and that is basically to returning Chris to what she looked like in her youth. So, and it's always up to the individual. And I said to Chris, you know, we should be able to take a very subtle, soft 10 years off you over a period of time, and that's what we're going to show you.
Gotta love that.
It's a makeover, but not the surgical makeover where you see, I don't really recognise that person anymore. What it's about is that you feel more confident, and you know, our practice is called Face Today with New Confidence. It's about facing today and looking better, feeling better about, you know, what you see in the mirror.
So what are you going to do first to Chris? Because obviously it's going to be a journey that we're going to take over the months, and we're going to see this amazing transition.
Yes.
What's first?
What's first is always you've got to scratch where it itches the most, which is a strange thing to say, but the thing that actually bothers Chris the most is actually this drawn look. And as we age, as I said in the previous program, we lose skull size, our muscles head south, everything heads south. So what we want to do is re-volumise, and the product that I'm going to do that with is called Radius. It's a newish product in Australia, been here for about 1.5 years, but what that can achieve, we can actually pick up this cheek and this volume here and regain that height again. We can actually pick up this area and pick up this area. Interestingly, where this volume loss is coming from is that you've lost your cheeks. And when we actually pick this up, where that comes from is that that's headed south, and when I pick this up, that pops up, that pops up.
Because you look at the origin of the lines, don't you?
Actually, interestingly on Chris, if you just turn to the side there, Chris, I don't know if you can see on the camera, see those 2 lines there? They're basically a sleep line. So as Chris sleeps, she's compressing her face. There is no anatomical muscles under there creating that. That is a compression point. Also, she has a habit of sitting with her hands like this on that side. So she actually has these lines through here. And a lot of people have what I call a chin rest spot, which Chris doesn't do, which is when you sit continually and you go like that, you create a crease through here. So then people will be coming to me saying, Nicki, how do I get rid of this? So if we can work out how the lines are happening, then we can prevent it as well as fix it.
All right. Now you guys are going to head off. We're going to check in regularly with you. So off you go. We'll look forward to seeing the results when you're coming back on Friday's show, which is great. To turn back the years, to make her look younger without surgery.
Absolutely. We've had great fun this week with Chris. And what Chris was doing was basically like we all do, wearing the years on her face. So we've had a wonderful time, because what actually happens, and Chris did say this to me, when she was looking in the mirror, she wasn't actually feeling that that was the person she felt in her heart. So what she wanted to see in the mirror was how she feels inside, which is obviously a 20-year-old. We all feel 20.
I feel 18, actually.
Do you? Actually, we were discussing that 18, 20 with the doctor. We thought, yes. But yeah, that's true.
So true. Well, just to remind you, if you didn't catch the show on Monday, or if you just want to reinforce what Chris looked like when we showed her on Monday, let's have a look at the before shot first of all. There she is, and almost needing a drum roll as she comes in now. Welcome to you. Come and join us and sit down. Oh my gosh, she's not mic'd up, but you just look absolutely amazing. Do me a favour, Chris, and look down the barrel of the camera for me so that we can do a nice close-up and a comparison shot of you as well. It's just incredible. Look at that. Nice big smile for us. Lovely. Now, let's start, because I'm sure you weren't going to do all of this on her when we saw you on Monday.
Actually, we started doing some work on Tuesday, and what I did say was I was going to do the re-volumizing. So what we wanted to do with Radius, it creates wonderful volume. You walk out with a result. I've done Radius through a little bit of volume in the eyebrows, and we've re-volumized through here, done a little bit of volume through here, and we've picked up the marionette lines, they're called, and we've elevated this pre-jowl area. And we were so excited by the results that we had. I said, let's go for it. Let's do stage 2. So I got Chris back again, and we've only just done Restylane throughout her whole face. We've done fine lines, and we've done very subtle lips. I love subtle, subtle, subtle lips. Just elevated what she was before.
Just look down the camera for us again, Chris, so we can see. Oh, look, that is just amazing.
And Chris still has a little bit of bruising and swelling.
I was going to ask that, because she does look quite full in the cheeks.
Yes.
So that will all settle down.
It will all settle down. So, but we were just so excited we had to do stage 2. Sorry, Susie.
No, don't be sorry. I'm sure Chris is thrilled as well. Now, normally, would this be for the rich and famous?
You'd be really surprised, Susie. It's actually, it's like the new way to stay young. It's actually, most of my patients are the people next door. It's just Mr. and Mrs. Smith, whoever, that it's just the intelligent way to stay young these days. We used to do our hair, you know, wax our legs, you know, no grey hair, whatever. And now it's actually a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of Face Today magic, and you can look basically young forever.
It must be an emotional journey for a lot of people, isn't it?
Absolutely. You wouldn't think that in a being a cosmetic injector, that I would have patients crying, but you know, when you actually look at the result, I have a lot of patients that look and then burst into tears and say, oh my God, that's how I looked when I was younger, and they're so excited. We both end up having a cry, and it's beautiful.
And what are we going to see next? What's the next step?
Well, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to do some muscle relaxants. So around the eyes, we're going to do, just give me a little frown, big frown. Okay, so we're going to relax this and raise your eyebrows. We're going to just reduce that a little bit. And the big smile, we're going to get rid of those and do a few other little bits and pieces of magic. There's 2 different muscle relaxants. One is called Botox by Allergan. The other one is Dysport by Ipsen, which is a newer product on the market. I love Dysport. It's got a little bit more bang for your buck, as one of the doctors I work with says. So that's what we'll be doing.
And we'll get you to dispel the myths of all of that as well. So we'll focus on that in the next fortnight.
That will be great fun.
We'll look forward to it. Congratulations, Chris, on your journey to looking more youthful. It is just fabulous. And Nicole, you really are a genius.
And they say it's not work, it's actually fun. Every day I just go to work and have great fun with people like Chris. We had a ball.
Thank you. And if you'd like details of our Look Good, Feel Good Beauty Makeover without surgery, go to our website and click on the fact sheet. Movies and more still to come. 2 weeks ago, we started a makeover journey without surgery, and even after the first week, the results were amazing. Today, we welcome back Nicole Belle from Face Today Mediclinic and our guinea pig, Chris Jones. Welcome to you both.
Hi.
Looking fabulous, might I say.
Thank you.
I want to take people back, in case you didn't see the show 2 weeks ago. I want to take people back to how you looked originally, Chris. I know she gets all sort of, oh no, don't show that picture, but it really is the good test, isn't it? So we have a look now. Now this particular one is of you frowning, and we've done that specifically for what we're focusing on today. But what was it that Chris didn't like about herself?
Well, Chris has got the big 60 next year. She's 59. She felt a little bit tired. So in her heart, Chris felt 20, but on her face she looked in the mirror and thought, who is that? I don't recognise this person. So she felt like she was a bit drawn, tired, and just a bit deflated. And so she was actually feeling,
a bit brighter.
She wanted to be freshened up and feel a bit brighter in herself.
Well, as I said, the results are amazing. What have you done to date?
So to date, the first thing we started with was that Chris needed volumizing. So we used Radius through this area here. We actually did a little bit of an eyebrow lift with Radius. Believe it or not, we straightened her nose as well. Elevated here, built up the jowl area. We did Restylane all over her face, picked up her lips,
Look
a little
down
bit
the
of her
barrel of the
makeup.
camera for us,
I
Chris,
was
if
a
you will.
mess.
Now, what are we focusing on today?
Well, once we've actually got our volume and we've got the natural shape of her lips back, I looked at a photograph of her which you showed us when she was younger. I've reshaped the lips, and then I thought, let's just soften a little bit. Now, the thing is that this is a cosmetic unit. You can't focus on one area. So with Chris, just frown for me, Chris. So we've actually just gotten rid of this. When you have a frown,
She
it
can't
makes you
frown.
no, it makes you look cranky, and people think you're unhappy, sad, annoyed, whatever. So this is really brightens you up. And with the smile, I haven't whacked it out like we see some terrible photos around. Just smile, Chris, and you can see she's still, give us a smile. She's still got a little bit of a crinkle here because we have to have the balance of the face. A little bit here, a bit of softening, and I've also done what's called platysmal banding. Can you just do that action for me? You see that she's not pulling. Now, could you do that action for me,
I
Susie?
certainly can. Quite as you mean my frill neck lizard look.
That's
Yes.
it.
Yes, I certainly can.
So,
How's that?
yes, Chris had that before, and
See that
as we age, this doesn't age Susie because she's got a good hydration, etc. But as we age, the bands start to pull down and it starts to look like you've got a turkey neck. So in softening that, it actually brings your whole neck up. We've also done a little bit of a tricky area down here, which is called your depressor muscle. So there's lots of, it's actually
Gel.
artistry in the face.
So you've used Botox today.
Actually, I've used Dysport. There's two different brands.
Right.
There's Botox by Allergan and there's Dysport by Ipsen.
But they
And
both do the same
they're
thing?
both botulism type A.
Yeah, which is really weird,
Which is
isn't it?
basically, it's a bit like paracetamol, Panadol. They're all the same type of thing.
But botulism is food poisoning.
I know people always think, oh, it's a poison, but in actual fact, a lot of the medications that we take, be it your antibiotics and a lot of things on the market, are actually poisons. So taken in any great dose, lots of people have died of taking various antibiotics, bits and pieces. They're all poisons. No one has ever died of Botox. So it is
And
actually
where
a
can
safe
you use it? You were talking about artistry, but where can you use it?
Well, when I actually look at a face, I just want to show you a photograph of, what I look at. So when I'm talking to you, Susie, or I'm looking at Chris, Chris is a makeup artist, and she looks at contour, shading, highlighting. When I look at a face, I'm actually imagining the muscles under the face because all of these muscles create certain action. So I can actually create artistry in lifting a brow. I can stop these corners of the mouth, sad mouth turning down by putting a tidge of Dysport here and here, and a little bit here and here. It stops that groove there. You can actually create up action.
And how long does that
softening
last?
Dysport actually, in my experience and different doctors I work with, lasts around about 4 months. So it seems to have a bit more longevity to it. But generally it's 3 to 4 months. And then you come back and you retreat it
Oh,
again.
my apologies, girls. I've got a
I think
frog
she's
in my
doing
throat.
really well with that frog.
Oh, dear. So what if we discontinued it? What happens if we didn't do it any longer?
Well, for example, with Chris's frown line here, she will actually get out of the habit. So if she said, Nicki, that's it, I'm never going to do any Dysport again, she sort of turned the clock back and gotten out of the habit, she would just go back to a general, muscle action that she had before. But it always sort of cheats time a little bit and softens everything. But there's, you will return to whatever you were like before.
That's great. And what's the next step? What's step 3?
Well, step 3 is where I think everyone's got a passion for lips. I mean, I'm a bit of a lip queen myself, and I would love to just talk to people about lips and not, take the fear out of those enormous lips that people are scared they're ever going to have. A lot of people want that definition, and it's about defining the edges, getting a turn up in the corner of the mouth, taking away the sad look. So lips and skin. We've started on Chris's skin doing some priori, some cleansing with cosmetics. So skin and lips, I think, because it's really important to have your canvas looking good as well.
Great stuff. Thank you, girls. We look forward to step 3 of our beauty makeover. It's wonderful to see the transformation. It's all good. Thank you. And of course, you can find our Look Good, Feel Good beauty makeover without surgery by going to our website and clicking on the fact sheet. And we also have a series of photos that you can actually follow Chris's progress. And of course, we have more of the show after this. To recap, for those of you who haven't seen Chris before, we're actually going to bring up a shot of Chris right from the very beginning to show people that's how she used to look. Not looking too happy either, I might add.
Give me a smile now.
Now, what have you done to date, Nicki?
Well, the thing that worried Chris the most in the beginning was that she felt she looked very tired and drained, and that was due to a loss of volume through her face. So we've re-volumized her cheeks with Radiesse, and then we filled in some fine lines and did some beautiful work with some Restylane. So that's brought Chris's face back up to being that full, lovely, peachy, round, soft look that we all love. That sort of denotes youth.
Now we're going to focus on the lips today because I know that you're known as the
Lip queen.
Lip queen without a doubt. Now tell us, what are some of the things that age us around our lips? They seem to get thinner, do they?
They do. In the first show I actually said that one of the things that actually ages us is our skull shrinks, and then as well as that our gums shrink. So we basically lose our foundation, and as well as that we lose our collagen. So, and it's also the dynamic action. Like if you say the word two, so you can see that Susie's got a little bit of dynamic action down there. Now, of course,
Is that a polite way of saying I've got little lines around? I am an ex-smoker, I must say, which is not good, and maybe too much kissing in my time.
No, I think the more kissing the better, actually. It's good exercise for the muscles around our mouth, so I think you should all take it up. So it's basically a lot of dynamic action, a lot of talking, smoking, all of that creates the lines around your mouth.
But I've also noticed that the corners of the mouth seem to kind of drop down as well. It's dreadful when you look in the mirror and watch yourself ageing, isn't it?
Yes.
So what have you done to Chris's lips first of all?
One of the most important things, I think everyone in Australia is worried about, oh my God, I don't want to have my lips done. And it's actually not about the red part of our lips, the actual lips as such. And there's such terrible work out there in some cases, as we've seen in Hollywood. The main thing is actually, if you look at Chris's lip blanket, it's actually the fine lines and the ageing that happens around the mouth. And as you said, the sides of the mouth, the corners drop down. So of course at 50 I've had no work done, So what I have is I actually have some product in the lip blanket. So it's actually the area surrounding your mouth and the frame around your mouth where you put your lip liner. So I've reinforced Chris's lips right along that lip border to actually recreate the frame and make them look as natural and exactly as they were in the photo she showed me of her in her youth.
I like the idea of natural because, as you say, in Hollywood we see these sort of, you know, Goldie Hawn First Wives Club with this sort of looks like the bee stung in the lips, and it's just
look.
oh, it's awful, isn't it? Yes, that's a good description, isn't it? Nemo sort of, or like have you. So why would people come and get their lips done? For instance, we've got a shot here of a couple of young people, a guy and a girl, and we look at the difference there.
Now that's a gentleman. He's actually Vic is my personal trainer. He's very cute, and I actually said to him, "Your girlfriend won't even notice. Trust me." He was horrified, and yes, it was just about his lip border. And Rebecca is a beautiful young girl from Balgownie Beauty. She had a small top lip, so it's about balance. She actually needed more volume in her top lip to actually match with the beautiful full bottom lip. So it's just about recreating either what we've lost in our youth, or for young people it might be that they've never had symmetry or they need a little bit more oomph. But I think the key word, Susie, is subtle, subtle, subtle again. So if anyone can see you've had your lips done, then unfortunately you didn't go to an artist.
And that is the secret, isn't it? That subtlety. Well, of course, we're dying now to find out what's going to happen in step 4.
Absolutely. Looking at Chris, you can see what I call your orbital rim groove, which is this hollowness that we get around the eyes. So what we're going to do with Chris next is we're actually going to fill in this little groove through here and actually bring it out to match this plane of her cheeks through here. So this is very advanced work to do, but it will really make a huge difference to Chris. And she'll look even more gorgeous.
You'll love it. And of course, all of this is done without surgery, which is very, very exciting. Just some injectables.
Yes, absolutely.
Lovely. Nikki, as always, thank you so much.
Total pleasure.
And we look forward to seeing you again for step 4. And of course, if you'd like to check out the entire progression, the journey from day 1, all of those shots are on our website along with the fact sheet about all the products, etc. And of course, we'll be back with more show right after this.
Well, it's always offered eternal youth for vampires, but could blood-based treatments make us mortals look younger? Believe it or not, it is the latest beauty craze, using our own DNA to rejuvenate and refresh.
This is the greatest thing that's ever happened to me.
I think this is a fantastic option because I don't want to go under the knife.
Use your own DNA to find the younger you.
What if you could use your own blood to rejuvenate your skin? Well, you can. It might seem about as close to vampirism as you can get. But this controversial treatment is real, and it's coming to a salon near you.
There's nothing that I know about that will actually regrow elastin. So I think this is a world first. I think it's as exciting as the introduction of Botox was years ago.
Nicole Belle runs Face Today Clinic. She's responsible for bringing this cutting-edge treatment to Australia.
The areas that can be treated are anywhere at all where you have skin laxity. So the areas that we started on first were the face and obviously the neck. It is phenomenal in and around the eye area for tightening up the tissue. Look at this area
The treatment is called platelet-rich plasma therapy, and it's kind of like Botox for the brave.
The actual treatment takes us about an hour. We like to nurture the patient, and we want it to be as joyful and enjoyable as possible.
This is how it works. First, blood is drawn from the arm. It's then placed in a vial with separating gel. A machine then spins the vial to separate the red blood cells from the plasma. Plasma is then re-injected back into the face.
I've heard quite a bit about this treatment, and a friend of mine had it done, and I was so impressed with the outcome that I've been tempted. It's just...
Belinda Clayton is not afraid of the sight of blood. She's putting her hand up to trial the procedure.
Just tell me, when you look at your face, what is it that you would like to improve the most?
Okay, well, I'm starting to notice just here at the bottom of the jowls, so a bit of creasing, sort of when I smile. This sort of presence here.
Absolutely.
I'm a little bit nervous, but I feel good.
There is no... I'm just a different person. It's given me more confidence. People don't believe me when I say my age.
Helen Plum and David Novak Piper are both fans of the plasma therapy.
That's what I like. It's subtle. It's very, very subtle.
But vanity doesn't come cheap. Each treatment can cost as much as $1,000. Money well spent, according to David and Helen.
I've seen an incredible tightening of my skin. My skin's fresher, it's glowing. It's got a different texture about it completely.
Yes, I do see a difference with the before and after shots. I just feel that my skin is tighter, firmer, and it's got a glow.
The lack of scientific evidence, though, hasn't turned Belinda off getting the procedure.
What really appeals to me is the fact that it's not a foreign substance that's going back into my body. It's my own blood.
And there's more information about the new bougie treatment on our ACA website.
Now to the latest cosmetic procedure promising to turn back time, using your own blood to tighten and rejuvenate your skin. Now Kylie, Madonna and Cher say it keeps them forever young. Here's Sally Obermeter with the treatment which takes man-made to a whole new level.
In this tube I call liquid gold. It is the fountain of youth.
It's the stuff of legends, the secret to eternal youth. And these ageing beauties think they've discovered it.
You will see yourself get continually younger and younger as time goes on.
Nicole Belle wouldn't be the first to claim to behold the holy grail of beauty, but what you're about to see her do is.
Just think I'm beautiful, I'm gorgeous, I'm getting younger by the second.
Nicole calls herself a cosmetic injector. What she injects into people's faces will have you literally spinning.
We've taken Linda's blood and we took 4 vials. So what we're going to do is we're going to place it in a centrifuge. Now what a centrifuge is that it spins. So it's basically going to spin at a certain rotation at a certain rate, and that will actually separate the red blood cells from the plasma.
It may sound more hellish than heavenly to inject remnants of your own blood into your face, but it's this golden coloured liquid extract that's the key to regen, or PRP. Platelet-rich plasma.
Once you actually put it into your face, it's stimulating all of your cells to actually start growing collagen and elastin. So I'm just drawing all of that plasma up into a syringe, which we're going to inject into Linda's face. Okay.
Linda is in her 50s and a seasoned user of chemical treatments, including Botox and fillers. But not anymore. She's now more comfortable pumping her face full of what she calls a natural alternative. Her own self-produced injectable.
I had really deep lines on the side here and I feel like they've just sort of plumped right up, and just people are commenting on how well I look.
Rejuvenating Linda's face and neck costs $1,100 for this one visit. Depending on her results, she may have to return again next month, then once or twice a year for a freshen up.
We're tightening and growing collagen up here so we get lift, and then I'm tightening through this area here. We can also do actual, nanny arms, you can do mummy bellies, you can do any tissue that is lost its elasticity, we can inject.
At 48, Vida Rodriguez has had 3 regen treatments.
I needed it. I was looking haggard and quite tired. I was trying to look fresher, not so much younger. My skin feels a lot tighter.
If Kylie Minogue's having it, let me tell you, I'm having it too.
And she's not kidding. Both Nicole and her supervising doctor are fans of their own work, and they happily practice on each other.
Dr. Williams did a treatment on myself, I did a treatment on him, and we actually grew the product in our own face to experience the tightness. What we've experienced is seeing our own faces get younger by the day.